Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's been like a week and a half since our last live session, and I'm so happy to be back here talking to you guys. If there's any new members in the group, I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Deirdre. I am the founder of Liyab, and Liyab is an e-learning startup focused on helping Gen Z Filipinos transition to working life. And part of that, which is why we're doing this topic tonight, is actually trying to figure out like, how do I dress for interviews? How do I dress when I start working, right? But before I introduce to you our speaker for tonight, I wanted to give anyone who wanted to, log into this webinar and you're probably not on this yet, or you have friends who are interested in joining tonight's webinar, let them know, tag them in the comments so they already know that we're live. I would hate for anyone to miss any part of tonight's webinar. So I'm giving you this opportunity to tune in live already. So while we're taking this opportunity to stall a bit so that people who want to hop in on the live can watch the whole thing, I just wanted to give some reminders. So it's been a while since we've last gone live here in the group, and we've been so busy at Liab trying to prepare so many things for you. Really good like opportunities for you to learn. Like for example, this weekend is the start of our workshop series, our job search journey workshop series. So that is very exciting. We're going to be sending the first ebook to our participants tonight. Um, and actually, since it's already 8 o'clock, we've closed registration already for that. But please stay tuned for the next workshops in the series. And another thing, we've announced it first here in the group, and we've publicly announced it already. We are doing a series of like free mock interviews. So if you want to get practice on getting interviewed, and maybe even practice like your outfit that you will come up with after tonight's webinar, please do sign up for that. We've partnered with like very interesting organizations there. I can't announce yet which organizations, but very, very interesting. So please take the opportunity to sign up for a free mock interview if you want to get experience in interviewing. So anyway, I think that's enough time for everyone who wants to tune in live to tune in now. And I will be introducing now our speaker for tonight. So our speaker for tonight is a graduate of clothing technology from UP Diliman, and she's been designing clothes and styling people ever since. Right. Personally, I know like a couple of friends that she has styled for. She's designed a couple of like outfits for me. She styled a couple of our friends who've gone on to like other country to work or study in other countries, and for some professionals who work here in the Philippines. So it's very interesting to always hear from her what she thinks of like how you can curate your wardrobe for your work, and it doesn't like discount like who you are personally, right? Like she tries to incorporate that in many ways in the people that she's consulted for. So I'm so glad that she said yes to teaching this group to like help us crack the dress code. If you've ever been like unsure about what to dress like for the office or for interviews, then tonight's webinar is for you. So without further like delaying, here is Leni de la Cruz, and I will be going now. I'll see you all later after her lecture so that we can ask her more questions. So if you have at any point during the webinar questions, please comment them on the video so that we can address them live later at the end of her lecture. Okay, so you can take it away, Lenny.
Whew, hi. Thanks, Deirdre. Hi, everyone. My name is Leni. And yeah, as Deirdre said, I'm a clothing tech graduate and I'm a fashion designer. And my personal blurb that I've been using lately is I'm a tea loving jumping boa who makes clothes and reads tarot cards. So tonight we're gonna try to crack the dress code and like learn how to make the dress code work for you. So like Deirdre said, I am really a firm believer that there is like a way for us na we can marry both what kind of your company or what society dictates you to wear in a way and also your own personality. So we're gonna learn that today. And I hope that whatever I share with you today can help you. Ayan. So let's start. So our goals for today are, of course, we want to understand what dress codes are, um, and what they're for. We're gonna learn the different kinds of dress codes. There are four dress codes that we use for work, and then how to navigate through that, and then maybe curate our own wardrobes, or at least start curating our own wardrobes. Ayan. So let's begin. Ayan. So I'm gonna start with what even is a dress code. So a dress code is, when you do a quick Google search, it's a set of rules, usually written and posted, specifying the required manner of dress at school, office, club, restaurant, etc. So, and it's also a customary style of dress for a specified group. For the company setting, it is a set of standards that companies develop to help provide their employees with guidance about what is appropriate to wear for work. So of course, all of us have different ideas of what appropriate and inappropriate is. So with the dress code, at least we're all on the same page with that. Ayan. So why is it a thing again? So it started as a thing for uniformity and order. So it's whether on a national level or organizational or company level. So like school uniforms, easy to identify our policemen or firefighters, things like that. And yeah, it's also for order in companies. Yeah, so a segue to that, it can also serve these purpose for companies. It's a standardized guideline so that everyone in the company is on the same page about what is appropriate for work or not, like I said a while ago. It's also an equalizer between colleagues. Um, so you can focus more on your work and your output rather than focus on what your office mate is wearing, what brands they're wearing, what styles they're wearing. So if we're all on the same page, we have a similar dress code, at least parang hindi na natin iisipin yung tingnan. Or you don't think about, what am I gonna wear for work today? I wanna stand out. I wanna impress people. There's not much of that when it comes to having a dress code. So at least that stresses off your mind. And it's also a reflection of company values for some companies. For either within the company, like if the CEO or the president wants everyone to see that he wants to see that everyone is like representing their company well, even within the company or outside of it, which is like with your client meetings. Yeah. So what are the different dress codes? There are, like I said, there are four dress codes that companies use or different setups use. So the most formal, or in here what I kind of coined as the dress code with the least wiggle room, is business formal or boardroom attire. You'll see why in a moment. And then next is business professional or traditional business. The next dress code is business casual or executive casual, which is the dress code that a lot of companies, especially here in the Philippines, have. So I think for a lot of you, it will be good to take note of business casual later. And then casual. So I know that a lot of tech startups are more in the casual dress code lately, and with good reason. Anything that I say, it's all this, general descriptors of what the dress code is. So if you have any questions, you can always check with your HR. They have the full rundown of your company's dress code. With also the wiggle room, it's also wiggle room for colors, for patterns, for hairstyles, and for other like grooming concerns. So if you're like, for example, if you're a person who loves to like do nail art and stuff, you can do more nail art with casual as opposed to business formal. Parang ganun lang siya. So yeah, let's do the different dress codes. We'll start with business formal. So business formal, you have your skirt suit or your pantsuit. This is for girls. Yung first natin is for girls. You have your skirt suit or your pantsuit, and then you have a white button down, and then your closed toe heels, and like that's it. That's it for business formal for girls. The colors that you can use for your skirt suit and pantsuits can be black, brown, or gray. And if you're wearing a skirt suit, make sure that you have dark pantyhose or hosiery. And then that's it. You can have accessories, but like minimal accessories lang. And then that's it for business formal. So again, there's not much wiggle room here. And same with the guys for business formal. You have your tailored suit, has to be tailored, or at least you took some time and effort to have it tailored. White button down, you have your necktie, and you have your Oxfords. And again, that can be in black, gray, and brown. And then that's it. So yun lang yung business formal natin. Let's move on to business professional, which has, again, a bit more wiggle room. So it's the same, like the clothes that you can wear in business professional are the same with business formal, but you have more wiggle room with colors. So here you can wear like other colors now for your button downs, but it still has to be a button down. You can wear different colors for your suits, but it still has to be a bit more subdued and neutral. You can add more patterns if you want to, but again, nothing too fancy. You can have stripes or you can have blood, but then that's basically it. Your shoes need to still be closed toe with heels. And for your accessories, you can wear like a bit different bigger accessories, but I saw it when I was researching about this. They wanted na your accessories are more of like high quality, or they look to be high quality. So like your golds and your silvers, things like that. For the guys, it's the same. You still have your tailored suit, still have your button down, but again, more wiggle room in terms of colors and patterns. You can have your neckties in also different colors and different patterns now, but again, keep it subdued, keep it simple. And then your shoes still need to be formal like your Oxfords. And then again, your accessories like your watches, especially for the guys, watch is a really good investment in an accessory. If you have a business professional type of dress code, you need it. It needs to be like high quality ulit. So like gold and silver and things like that. So moving on to the next dress code with a bit more wiggle room, it's business casual. And that is, yun nga, like I said, that's the most common dress code for our companies. And here, again, more wiggle room in terms of color, in terms of patterns. Or again, not too like crazy. Not too crazy with your colors and your patterns. But here, ang main difference na is you don't need to wear a button down anymore for girls. So yes, finally, you can wear like your cute blouses and things like that. And you can add more accessories. You can add scarves. Again, not too crazy yung patterns, not too crazy yung designs. And then with your accessories, you can go for bigger accessories na. And for your shoes, finally, you can wear flats. You can wear flats and then you can wear it in all sorts of different colors na. And for the guys, business casual for guys is I just used a white button down here, but you can wear any color na of button down. Neckties are optional already. And then you can wear sweaters now with your button down for that like cool look. And then pants still need to be slacks or still need to be a bit dressy. And then you can wear loafers already. So yun nga, a step down can be a bit more casual. And then your watches can have leather bands. So it doesn't have to be like the super expensive type of watches. And that's business casual. And then for our last dress code, which is casual, you can wear jeans in casual setups already. But it's um, parang a good rule to keep in mind is to make sure that your jeans are maybe dark wash Again, it depends on your HR if they will allow other washes, and make sure na it's straight cut. So nothing too, again, nothing too flashy. Save your bell bottoms for the weekends. Save your skinny, like ultra skinny jeans for the weekends. And then you can, add more accessories. Like, you can be a bit more fancy with your accessories. And then you can wear open-toed shoes for girls. As long as it doesn't look like you're going to the beach. Okay yun. And then for the guys, there you can wear your polo shirts, you can wear jeans. Again, make sure straight cut, dark wash. And then you can wear sneakers as long as it's clean. And then yeah, your watches, it can be a bit more casual na din. So in terms of hair, you can again, with the more formal it gets, the less wiggle room you have. So like in casual, for example, for the guys, you can wear your hair longer. For, of course, for business formal, you need it cut. Parang ganun lang yun. And then again, you can always ask your HR about it. And like I said kanina, with like, if you want to have your nails in nail art, it's more okay with casual than it is with business formal. And then yeah. Um okay, before I go there. So those are the different dress codes. Now, what if, for example, you you go somewhere and then your dress code is like casual. Tapos biglang may meeting ka pala with someone na high ranking, someone from a different company. Or bigla kang pinapunta sa conference or like an event. Tapos parang, hindi ko alam pa nagawin ko. Like suddenly, kailangan bigla parang naka-business casual ka bigla. Pero naka-jeans ka. So like, how can you navigate through that? I'm gonna share, yan, how can I easily cross through dress codes. Just, some tips that I thought of na I think would be good anchors for you when you start creating your wardrobe. Always that possibility na you may need to go someplace that you need to be more dressed up than you currently are. So my first tip is to keep your basics safe. And what I mean by safe is not, always have the button downs na keep it business professional. Hindi naman ganon. Of course, you can wear your blouses, you can wear your satiny stuff. Kayo bahala dun. But just make sure na at least your foundations in your wardrobe, they're not so, like, again, flashy. The patterns are okay. The patterns are, they keep it within the plaids and then the stripes categories. And just make sure na safe yung basics more. You have those basics na is a go-to. You can have it from casual to maybe even business formal. So at least if you have those more in your wardrobe, kahit saan kang pumunta, kahit saan ka papuntahin ng boss mo, you're confident na you can blend in and you can fit in and you're not like super standing out because you're too dressed down. And then my second tip is to have a coat or a cardigan ready. Something na, like wool, kahit yung wool lang na stretchy material, na mukhang medyo tailored pa rin ng konti. Hindi yung mukhang pang beach na situation. And I say this tip kasi it's easier to look a bit more put together when you have something outside, like an outerwear. And keep your basic grooming supplies handy. So if you only have 10 minutes, at least you go to the bathroom, ayusin yung hair mo, like put a bit of makeup on if you're a makeup person. Can brush your teeth for a couple of minutes. Para lang may boost ka din of confidence. Because another like factor then when it comes to dressing up is also your confidence level. So parang kahit naka-casual ka, if you can carry it and you have the confidence to carry it, hindi na rin maaano ng ibang tao yun eh. It's like, oh, she's not wearing casual, she's power dressing. Power dressing is a thing. So you can always work that to your advantage. Confidence is always a key factor in dressing up, always. So it's good na I think with this then it's, having your basics, work with you, having your wardrobe to work with you is also a factor in having like that boost of confidence to face anyone anytime. Okay, ayan. What's next? Nakalimutan ko na. Ayan, okay. So, pabalik-balik ako, sorry. So now that we know the different types of dress codes, now that we know how to work with them, how to navigate through them a bit, ano na? Ano nang gagawin natin? Let's, um, I guess it's time we build our own wardrobes based on our dress code. So again, business casual yung pinaka-common na dress code in Manila. So let's try to build a business casual wardrobe. So how can you curate and style your wardrobe? And again, this is where you mix in the dress code and you. So this is how these are like my tips on how to make your wardrobe work for you then. Like, how can you bring your personality out within the confines of the dress code? Is basically what I'm gonna try to answer through these tips right here. So my first tip for everyone is to create your color palette. So your color palette is your anchor. It's here like it's your starting five colors. Na you know that you're comfortable wearing these colors. They're within the confines of the dress code, and it helps you like start creating a very cohesive wardrobe. So of course you can add colors in later on, but at least you have a starting palette that is strong and that represents you. So my recommendation is that you have three uh, neutral colors and then one or two accent colors. So for here, from left to right, our colors are gray, white, taupe, which is kind of like a nude, light pink, and then royal blue. And then the first three are your more neutral colors, and then the other two are more accent colors. So yun, just think about what colors you're comfortable wearing, and then maybe you add your favorite colors in as well. Like if it was me, I would have yellow there. Parang, you don't have to sacrifice color just because you're trying to work with the dress code. My next tip, ayan, choose a staple accent or pattern or accessory or one of each. So this is where you start um, showing your personality off in a way. So here, like with our color palette kanina, I'm gonna use royal blue as the accent color. But again, you can use any accent color you want with the color palette that you set for yourself. You can also have a staple pattern. You can choose one pattern from here, or maybe you can go floral if pwede florals accompany nyo, like mga small flowers like that. You can choose one. Again, you can add more as time goes by, but at least you choose one para hindi puro plain solid blocks lang of color yung outfits mo. At least there's a bit of pattern playing there. And then you can also have an accent staple accessory. So basically here, what we're doing here sa part na to is parang gagawin mo, ano ba, yan si Leni. Siya yung, like, her clothes are simple lang, gray and white, but she has that big pink bag that sets her apart from others. Or, like, he has the cute neckties that are in the different patterns. Or, siya yung laging may cute socks. Pansinin mo yung socks niya araw-araw, iba-iba. So, parang, that's something that you can bank on na. Nilalabas mo yung personality mo, but, again, it's still within the dress code. So, you're not breaking any rules here. You're just playing with what you have. So, there. You can choose one thing. You can just start with the accent color, or maybe you can start with a pattern, or plan an accessory, or you can choose one of each. And then my next tip, gumana ka, ayan. Always remember that the devil is in the details. And you can make the details, those devils work for you with you. So again, for example, like in a business professional or a business casual setting, you don't really want to wear like super flashy, like those big necklaces, or bigla kang mag-button down or mag-sweatshirt na super kakaiba yung pattern if that's your personality. But then you can have, again, subtle hints of your personality within your wardrobe. So for example, if you're into astrology, like I'm a Gemini, so pupunta ako sa office and I want to show off my Gemini-ness even with little details. I can have Gemini themed accessories or astrology themed accessories. Or yan, fan ako ng Avatar The Last Airbender. I can have a little thing with me, like a necklace or a bracelet that shows that part of me. Or if you like ducks, then you can buy socks na like duck with duck patterns or like with your favorite animals or things like that. And then the last image there on the right, it's a pocket square. So if you're in a more business professional setting and you wanna stay business professional, but you kind of want to have a little bit of fun with it, you can have fun with your pocket square. Or you can have fun like, yeah, with your handkerchief, with your necktie. Kung may cactus theme like pattern na necktie, you can work with that. And yun, so like just keep these tips in mind when you start building your wardrobe so that you don't lose yourself in the middle of panic buying button downs and blazers and pants for your first job or for your interview. So with these tips in mind, I kind of created a starting wardrobe for someone who's about to begin work. So again, those are our 5 colors in action. And then again, I chose a window pane pattern for the pants. The gray blazer is plain para you can this person can wear it anywhere. Always have a button down in white because again that's the most basic and most solid thing that you can get for your wardrobe. Works with anything. And then I added like an accent detail in this wardrobe is the ribbons. So as you can see, she has 2 tops na may ribbons na color niya. And then even her shoes, which is in the accent color of royal blue. Like that's the only royal blue in this starter wardrobe. So it really stands out. And then again, may tali din, may ribbons din. And then her bag is like a duffel bag na it's formal enough and then she can put anything there. Tapos with the watch again, it's also dainty and it's also formal enough that she can wear it in meetings or like again interviews. And then with the ring, inisip ko na lang like she's a Sagittarius and she's proud of it. So she wanted to wear a ring that represents her sun sign. So that's like a starter wardrobe and that's already what 6 outfits na she can wear. So like that's a week's worth of outfits if you don't mind repeating your pants. So yun na. And then you can add more items in the wardrobe as time goes by. My suggestion is if you're gonna start curating your work wardrobe, you start with fulfilling like a week's worth or kahit 10 days worth of clothes and make sure you're comfortable with repeating the outfits. So again, you don't have to buy 10 pants and like 20 different tops. So you're like your 4 pairs of pants and then a couple of tops and then one blazer and then you're good. Just make sure na, again, you feel confident in wearing it. The clothes represent you. And again, it's gonna be within the confines of the limitations or the wiggle room within the dress code. Yan. Oh, bonus tip for curating your wardrobe. Create your brand of makeup or your grooming. So It can be like, with your makeup, you have like a staple lip color, or you wear your hair a certain way, or you style your hair a certain way with yan, hair gel for the guys, or like with hair clips for um anyone who wears hair clips. And another way of also creating like an identity is through your scent. So with your perfume there, like yung pinakasikat na perfume for girls is Chanel number 5. You don't have to like invest in a super expensive perfume. Just find the perfume that works for you. If you're into perfumes, or if you want to start trying to incorporate it in your daily life, you can have that. Kahit yung mga mura lang na cologne, if you wanna leave a mark with your scent, that's a good place to start. And then Dolce& and Gabbana Light Blue. Gusto siya ng mom ko actually, but it's like a guy scent. So, go lang yon. Like, if you want to create an identity with your scent, go for it. Ayan. So, with all those tips in mind, here are my suggestions for wardrobe staples that you can invest in. The first thing that you can buy when you start a job, or when you're gonna go into an interview situation. So first, for the girls, a skirt suit or a pantsuit na tailored, um, I would always recommend na yung formal wear nyo would be tailored. Or if you're gonna buy an off-the-rack pair, invest a little more money in it to have them tailored. And then a blazer or a jacket or a cardigan, and then a couple of dressy tops. Again, working with the dress code, and then working with your color palette, skirts or pants, a good pair of shoes. Um, I guess heels are a bit more like formal, na parang pwede mong gamitin with work every day. But if pwede flats sa work nyo, like yeah, go for flats. You can like invest in one good pair muna, or like one or two good pairs before you mass buy shoes. Para din alam nyo what you're more comfortable in wearing as footwear. And then a good bag, like a sturdy bag that will um that you can carry with you for the next couple of years. And then a good watch, it really just makes you more like look more professional and more put together if you have a good watch. And like it's something about, being responsible with time. So kahit hindi ka responsible with your time, mukha kang responsible with your time. So okay na rin yun. Invest in a good watch. And then especially for girls, I would suggest investing in a set of accessories. Like parang one set lang yan. Like if you like triangles, you can have a necklace, a bracelet, and a pair of earrings na like minimalist, classy, classic type accessories that you can wear every day. And again, when I say invest, it doesn't have to be expensive. Work within your budget then. Um, I'm sure yung mga designs yan available sa Shopee or sa Lazada. So, you can just take a bit of time to search. That's already investing. And then you can wear those for a couple of months or a couple of years. Ayan. And for the guys, wardrobe staples that I would recommend are, again, suit, tailored, or you have the off-the-rack tailored or altered sa size mo. A good coat or a good blazer. A couple of button-downs. Um, dressy pants. That's always a good investment. A watch that looks professional, that looks good on you. A few neckties, kahit one or two lang, at least meron ka for those types of events or situations na kailangan. Um, a formal looking or a solid pair of shoes. Kahit na nasa business casual ka, na pwede na yung loafers or pwede na kahit okay lang sa company mo na mag-sneakers ka, at least you have a formal pair of shoes that you can wear whenever in any situation. And then, again, a good bag, a good quality bag that you can bring with you to work anywhere. Share ko lang, I helped my best friend, who is a guy, in curating a wardrobe just before he left for his master's in another country. Thus, we spent like 2 or 3 days looking for the perfect bag for him. So, be prepared to invest not just money but also time in looking for these clothes, these accessories that would work for you. I say it kasi usually we're like, okay na yan. But you're dressing up for yourself. You're dressing up, it's not just it's not it the it's not just a thing na gusto mo na mapakita mo like with your colleagues or with your bosses na you look put together. You also want to feel put together as well. You want to feel confident in your clothes. And so I would suggest that you invest in a little bit of time to curate this wardrobe. So yun lang. Like, also invest time in it. Ayun. And then, final tips. What should I keep in mind when I buy clothes or I curate my wardrobe? My first tip, please focus on fit. Fit yung, like, it will set you apart from other people. It would make your casual clothes look almost business professional. Parang ganun siya. Like, make sure that the shoulder seams are really with your shoulders here and not drooping like that. Or make sure that if you're trying the oversized look, like oversized coats or flowy tops, things like that, or yung maluluwag na pants, make sure that it looks deliberate and it's not just you accidentally bought the next size up. Or you're not wearing clothes that are too tight for you. With suits, then there are, I guess you can just do like a quick Google search of what a good fitting suit looks like. So you can see then, maybe you have a suit at home already and you want to see if you need to have it altered. I would suggest doing a bit of research in that as well. And then again, I was saying then a while ago, invest in a suit or invest in getting an off the rack suit tailored. And then it goes back to fit as well. If you have a suit that is like perfect for you, wala na. Okay ka na. You're set for until you gain or lose weight or something like that. So invest in a suit because again, fit is like one of the most important things that you need to keep in mind when buying clothes or when having clothes made. And then like last tip, dress for your lifestyle as well. So what I mean by this is don't just dress for your personality and the dress code of your work, which of course are both equally important things. You dress for your lifestyle as well. So what does your lifestyle look like? Do you drive a car? Or do you carpool? Do you grab every day or do you commute? That can change the way that you look at your clothing. Because if you commute, if you ride a jeep, you would want something that is more breathable. So kind of avoiding the satins and the silks and invest in cotton if you commute or if you drive your own car, yeah, you can buy there's a lot more options for you to have. Or again, your shoes then. If you're gonna commute, you would want shoes na hindi sasakit yung paa mo while you wear them throughout the day. Or also, for example, with the size of your bag, that you're gonna buy, what are you gonna do after work? Do you have a gym membership and you maybe want to go to the gym after work? So you would want a bag that would fit your like all your gym clothes now, for example, and not carry another bag na with all their other gym clothes, for example. Or if you commute but you still wanna wear heels for work, make sure that your bag has space for your flats. Something like that. So make sure that you also consider the type of lifestyle that you have realistically when you create your wardrobe. And yun. So those are some last minute tips. And yeah, ayun na. I'm done. Yay! Thank you so much for being here and for listening. Yay!
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lenny. Actually, we do have a couple of
No problem.
questions in the
Ooh, okay.
yeah, in the comments. Actually, I was just typing down my questions as well, but I'll save
Okay.
those for like when we run out of questions.
Okay,
So I'll
go.
go ahead and read some of the questions we have on Facebook, right? Um, so one question is, which ones do you think we should invest in first? Because building a
Mm,
wardrobe can be really expensive. Like I think
yeah.
like same thoughts on that. Like if I don't have as much money, I don't think I can
Mm,
invest first in a suit.
yeah,
um
of
so
course.
maybe like also factoring in expense, what can we
Mm-mm.
invest on first?
It depends then on what, again, what your dress code is. So, if required ka magkaroon ng suit for work, of course, dun mo unahin yung investment mo. But if it's not a requirement, again, most naman of the dress codes here are business casual,
Mhm.
then I would suggest invest in a bag. Or
Bag.
invest in shoes, actually. Invest in a bag and shoes. Yung, like, I don't know, it's like an old rule na your bag and your shoes need to be in the same color or same material.
I mean, I try to follow that rule.
Yeah. So, parang,
Yeah.
pwede mo siyang i-follow, tapos at least, like that, parang, there are accessories that they also, like, make or break an outfit. So, yun, pwede ka namang humanap ng, again, pwede ka humanap ng murang clothes. Like, on sale sa department store or mag-uukay ka ng clothes. There's always that option. Or I would really suggest investing in yan. A bag and a pair of shoes.
Awesome. Actually, and I think for any of the dress codes, that's applicable
Yes.
anyway, right? Because you need to wear shoes
Mm-mm.
and you need to bring a bag.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a follow up question to that, and I was thinking
Mm.
this actually when you were discussing like the different dress codes, because like on the business, like on the formal or professional
Yeah.
side, a lot of them would involve like a suit. So the question here is there a guide in the Philippines about business formal or business professional versus the weather? Because mainit. Are there certain expectations to keep the coat on all the time?
Feeling ko, like, I don't know, like, I guess when you're like in like a meeting or in that type of situation, better if you have your coat on. But I don't think if your dress code is business professional or business formal, I don't think you'll have your meeting somewhere na hindi aircon.
True.
Thank goodness. So, so
That's
parang,
fair.
so suot mo na lang din. But yeah, but if you can take it off like on your breaks, take it off.
That's true. Like feeling ko naman lahat ng would require you to wear a suit. They can afford to
Yeah.
air
They,
condition the whole
oo.
place.
They have enough money to make sure na kaya nilang panindigan yung suits nila sa
True.
deadline.
That's very true. Although, like, I think, like, for some law professions, though, because I know, well, sadly, because like some of our courts
Yeah.
do not have enough budget, and I
Mm-mm.
think I don't know, pero for law firms, maybe they're on the more like business professional side
Mm-mm.
of the spectrum. Um, but I think naman
Yeah.
may empathy naman yung mga tao na,
Oo. I
right?
mean, you can show up wearing
Wearing, yeah.
the whole thing. And then pag upo mo, you can take it off.
Hmm.
Na, at least nagpakita ka na suot mo siya, di ba?
True.
Kesa you're kind of dressed down. You don't
Yep.
look like the lawyer.
Yeah, that's true. So thank you for that, Lenny. We have another question on from Denise. And her question is, if you're applying to or working for a relatively young and creative firm or company and they
Mm-hmm.
don't have a set dress code, what tips can you give on how to dress that reflects with the brand of the company?
Ooh, okay. I guess, parang, I would always suggest na parang keep it within like if walang set na dress code, just keep it within the casual to business casual spectrum. Like
Mhm.
that would be na it it still looks professional, but again, it you can show your personality more. And titingnan mo rin like what does the company value. I guess titingnan mo rin yung aesthetic ng company, titingnan mo rin yung yun, yung yung look that the company kind of wants and try to work within that as well. Try to make that your dress code in a sense. Na if your company is, it's more, if the company's um, culture is a bit more laid back, maybe dun ka mag, dun ka mag-work around na you have more, like maybe more flowing type of clothes, or if mas medyo vibrant and energetic yung image or yung feel ng company, you can add a bit more color to your wardrobe. Something like that. So make the feel of the company or the vibe of the company your dress code in a sense.
I think also if they don't have a dress code, like one way for you to try to figure that out is look at like the current employees there and
Yeah.
what are they wearing,
Oo. Yeah.
and maybe you can take some cues from that. But I
Yeah.
think like for this question, it's like with like creative firms or companies, I guess like design agencies or
Mm-mm.
advertising agencies or market, like those with like a really young creative um vibe. I think some of the rules may be more like exactly what you said. We'll have a bit more wiggle room.
Yeah.
Um,
And for those
and
types of companies then, I guess they value the employees in like individual styles then more than others. So I guess they bank on that then. And if you're going to an interview, like don't be afraid to ask yung nag-interview sa'yo, like what is the vibe of the company? Maybe not phrase it that way. I'm sure may mas formal way to phrase the vibe of the company. Pero it doesn't hurt to ask.
yeah, that's true. Um, there's another follow up question from Denise, which is, what's
Yeah.
your criteria in buying clothes? Um, so is it quality or what? And when do you know if you should really purchase a certain type of clothing?
Quality always, always number one. That's next to fit. Silang dalawa yung tandem, quality and fit. Kasi kahit kahit 50 pesos lang yung gagastusin mo sa item na yun, that's still energy that you're exchanging for that clothing item. So you want to make it work for you or with you. And you want it to last a while. Which is why ako rin parang even though fast fashion brands are more accessible, if you want to build a wardrobe that's a bit more, long lasting, I wouldn't really suggest fast fashion. And then I would suggest if there's, for example, an accent accessory or something na, uy, maganda, pero it might be a bit of a larger investment, you sit on it. Sit on it, you wait for kahit a couple of hours lang to really think about it. Yung parang, I guess that's a tip in general for anything that you wanna purchase na if you wanna purchase online, add it to cart, iwanan mo for a couple of hours, go back and see if you still want it. Make sure na it's a good investment and it's not something that you're buying on a whim. Tapos after mo ma-press yung order or after mo mabigay yung card mo, nagregret ka na agad.
I think, like for me, my personal rule also is if bagay siya with my current wardrobe.
Yes.
Um, I think that's also very important. Like I just keep it
Oo.
to like what you thought na
Mm-mm.
parang there's a certain color palette that I go with. So parang like wearing something orange is a bit too extreme for me because it's not
Yeah.
something within the palette that I work with, or something like very green,
Mm-mm.
neon. Parang those are colors that do not match. So if I don't have anything in my closet that can match it or that I can wear it with,
Mm-mm.
um, I stay away
Yeah.
from those types of purchases.
Yun din. That's why it's important yun, to have that palette na parang, yun nga yung anchor mo siya. And then I know someone like, my coach, one of her rules, kasi she tries to keep, or she's tried to keep a capsule wardrobe, every time na may bibilin siya, she takes something out of her wardrobe,
Mm.
out of her rotation. So if may mga ganun kang caveats with yourself, like either yon yung color palette mo, or some, or a rule like what I said, then maybe it would also help you think twice before impulse buying.
We have a question here from Karina, actually, that I had the same thoughts with when you were explaining like the different dress
Mm.
codes. That is it really strictly button down for business formal, or is there little wiggle room to wear a blouse as long as we wear a blazer on top of it? Because um, I actually don't own a lot of button downs, but I do have like some really dressy tops that I think like if I paired it with or I wore a blazer on top of it, like I feel like I could get away with it. So is it really like strictly button downs
Business
for
formal.
yeah, business formal?
I think kasi yung ID, kasi like the other name for business formal is boardroom attire. So I think
Mhm.
mas dun sila, like if you're going to court, anong dapat mong isuot, like again, it's for like for lawyers, for those types of professionals. Kaya siguro naging strict siya. But again, if yun nga, if you have a suit tapos you have a dressy top, it's something na I guess it's more within a business casual, business professional type thing. So, yeah, pwede siya. It's not strictly business formal. You can't really, or boardroom attire, hindi siya that specifically. But it is professional looking and formal looking enough that you can talk to CEOs and other like high ranking people kapag yun yung suot mo. Again, there's a concept now na power dressing, which is, you can just wear, like, have that identity and wear it with confidence. So, maybe hindi masyadong strict with business formal, but of course you can wear that na, a blouse with a suit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the confidence because sometimes that's how I get away with it.
Yeah.
I'm not following
Di
the
ba?
dress code. It's like, you know, well, I feel pretty confident in what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
As long as it's not too extreme. Like I feel like there are just I had certain wardrobe decisions that I know I can't get away with, like wearing like yung jeans na may like forgot what
Yung
it's called.
tattered,
Yeah, like
tattered
tattered
ba?
jeans with
Oh,
a like meeting with a bank. I mean, that's a bit extreme na
oo.
my confidence cannot get me through the
Yeah.
gate, I think. Um we
But
have
you powered through that.
no, I actually skipped the meeting
Oh
because
no.
I was like no, because it wasn't gonna be led by me. Like I was gonna join the meeting and then it was a surprise meeting.
Oh,
Then I offered to like, I can quickly like sneak into the mall, buy something, change for this specific meeting because I know it's
yeah.
very important. But it was like, no, it's okay, we can handle it.
Okay.
So I said, okay, good. um, but yeah, I think confidence is a big part
Mm.
of it as well.
Yes.
Especially if it's a setting with wiggle room, I
Mm.
think you can get away with it. There's another question here,
Yes.
which I'm also very curious about because been I used to wear like backpacks also to work.
Mm.
Um, what are your thoughts on backpacks? Like, does it
Ay,
violate the dress code?
if you notice, wala namang anything on the dress codes on bags. So, I'm a huge supporter of backpacks. Yes. Make sure lang na mukha siyang, mukhang okay siya. Like, hindi siya yung like Jansport or Herschel backpacks mo na walang form. I think important then if you're investing in a bag, I would always suggest na you have a bag na yung may form para mukha pa rin siyang professional in a way. Pero yeah, I'm a huge supporter of backpack. May scholar din ako, so I always want to wear backpacks if necessary. But then I don't work in a company. So yes, I support backpack. Saka mas madaling dalhin yung laptop mo if you're wearing a backpack as opposed to yung ganun lang.
All right. We have another question here, which is
Yes.
do you have thoughts or tips on tying together your work wardrobe if you have, for example, like a bizarre hair color or a small tattoo, or anything
Mm.
of that sort?
For that, I would ask HR kung anong like rules nila on hair colors and tattoos. Again nga, pag mas casual yung work situation, mas lenient sila with that. But then I would still make sure. And then if they say na we would recommend that you cover it up, then you work with those parameters then. If yung hair color mo naman is okay lang with them, then yeah, go ahead. Pwedeng yun yung accent mo. If
Mhm.
if you have like blue hair or purple hair, which side note, sobrang I want purple hair. Like if okay lang siya with HR, then that can be your accent. You can wear like the most boring clothes if yun yung style mo. But then you have your crazy colored hair. That's okay naman. They would just ask.
All right. I think that's most of the questions. I
Oh,
actually listed down like apparently not questions but more in like comments to myself.
yes.
Like for example, yun nga, like
Realization.
what I meant about like getting away with certain things because I noted that
Ah,
when you said that even in like a business casual setting, you gotta keep the like dark colored jeans or jeans that are more like
mm,
straight cut. When I realized that there were so many things that you said that I violated. Um, when I used to work. And these
yeah,
are for different settings and it's like, oh no, how did people perceive me when I wore those like clothes? Like I wore skinny jeans,
yeah.
I would wear t-shirts and rubber shoes. Actually in the startup world, not as I think not as strict. Well, it depends
Mm.
because like leather shoes are so parang not a thing in
Sobrang
startups,
formal
but
na niya.
like yeah, like but rubber shoes, like especially if you have like the more like rare or expensive ones,
Mm,
it's something that's widely accepted.
mm.
Like wearing t-shirts is also fine, but I think like the dress code is like be careful lang with like the print on your shirt.
Yeah. Oh, and also be careful yung neckline. Especially for, like,
Mhm.
you don't want it like super low. Kaya gusto mo pa rin makahinga ka. So, just, just be careful with that then.
Yeah, also like some tips from me, like some comments that like one of my first like boss told me was that so I would wear like skirts and then like medyo medium length skirts but above the knee.
Yeah.
But apparently if I wear that with heels, it looks much shorter than it is.
Yes.
So
Kasi the
like I
heels
should
elongate your legs pa.
yeah, so like there are just like some details like that that I think people could use also more clarity on.
Mm.
Like for example, like should you like fold your jeans like sa bottom because like that no uso yun lately
Ah.
or so may mga ganun that are just so hard to navigate
Mm.
also. I don't know if like you have some like very specific tips on things like those.
So, for skirts, recommended is knee length talaga, at least. Right? If you want to go shorter than knee length, siguro mga 1 inch shorter lang. Just to be on the safer side. And then for pants, basta hindi lang siya super long na nagka-crumple siya sa baba. I guess yun lang yung pinaka-consideration. And then if you go business professional, yun na yung marami ng rules on like yung kung saan nag-end yung pants, suit, and things like that. But with business casual and the casual part, if you wanna do that trend na naka-fold, okay lang din. If you wanna show your ankles, go ahead. Um, basta just make sure, I would prefer that over yung sobrang haba ng pants mo na nag-fray na siya dahil naaapakan mo siya everyday, di ba?
All right. Let me just check because like if we don't have any more questions, I think sakto, it's 9 o'clock.
Ah, oo
Uh,
nga.
yeah. Then I think we are good with this webinar. I like before I
Yay!
say my closing spiel, maybe if you have some final words for any of our watchers live.
Um, ano ba? Thank you. And yeah, just make sure na that, like, you're working with a lot of factors, but most importantly, you're working with the dress code, you're working with your personality and your lifestyle. And you're also working to, if you have high confidence, you're working with that level of confidence. And if you don't really have that high level of confidence yet, you're working to build up towards it. So, parang make your wardrobe work with you. Parang make it something na collaborative between you and your wardrobe. Na hindi lang siya restrictive sa dress code and hindi lang din siya anything you want to wear. Because then, sabog ka na with that. But just, just make sure na you're making smart decisions when you curate your wardrobe. Yun lang.
All
Thank
right. Thank you so thank you so much, Leni. And actually I really,
you.
really appreciate like those final words, because I think early in your career you're just trying to build up that confidence. So there's a
Yeah.
lot more of relying on the rules or on the dress code when you're
Mm-mm.
trying to navigate like the first couple of years of your career. Like definitely me,
That's
when I
true.
first started, I was super not sure. I was taking advice from my family members who used to work in offices as well, would even like rely on hand me downs because I couldn't, like, of course I just started working, I couldn't super build my wardrobe just yet.
Yes.
um and the confidence that, like I was saying a while ago, like that took me a couple of years also to build up to.
Mm-mm.
But when it was easy for me to like figure out, okay, like this is what I want for my wardrobe, these are like the clothes that make me feel confident and comfortable without looking like I don't agree with the dress code or that I'm not following the rules.
Yes.
um then I think you'd be more comfortable like wiggling around and just like take having your
Mm-mm.
confidence take you through whatever
Life.
you decide to wear. Actually, yeah, with your confidence just taking you through
Yeah.
life. So thank you so much, Lenny, and
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for everyone who tuned in to this live video. We're gonna keep the video inside the group forever, or as long as Facebook or our career support group exists. So if you missed the session, or if you logged in late, you can watch the whole session again after this. So thank you so much, everyone, and
Thank
we I will
you.
see you again soon.